Hey Hunters, hey Lazu here. I'm actually taking a break from God of War this week because I decided I wanted to do a Diablo video, so I'm just going to be playing as Wizard in Act 1. Basically the idea of this is to get some achievements, so it's my second Wizard since I've never gotten around to doing it. But anyway, playing Diablo 3 while I talk a bit about Diablo 4 and my predictions. More specifically, why I think everyone's wrong about what the 5th class is. Or what the main prediction is wrong. But we'll talk about that as we get going. As for a description of what I'm going with, I'll show you the skills. Nope. There. I've got Electrocute, Storm Armor. Let me just set this to full screen. There we go. I've also got Meteor with Thunder Crash. Oh yeah, and Electrocute has Chain Lightning. Power of the Storm on Storm Armor, which... Oh yeah. That's why I'm using it. I've also got Blizzard with Lightning Storm. Teleport with Wormhole. And Magic Weapon with Conduit. Alright, so anyway, we're gonna keep going.
I have killed more. They have taken.
Okay. Yeah, we go here. Yeah, so anyway, to talk about Diablo 4, so I'm actually going to be talking about what the 5th class is. So we now know that the 4 classes, the first 3 announced were Barbarian, Druid, and Sorcerer. Technically, Sorceress was talked about a lot, but Sorcerer is confirmed to have both male and female variants.
Evil wears no disguises here.
Oh yeah, also, before I forget, in my cube is Mykon's Ball of Hate, Velvet Cameral, and Puzzle Ring. Oh, I've got a Leroy out.
I need arcane power. I need healing. I must heal. Need more arcane power.
I have Jinzaniku. It's a good one.
I am convinced that some malevolent being is attempting to wrest control of my thoughts away from me. Voices direct me to horrendous acts, and there are times when I seem unable to control my body. Lazarus knows. This is certain. He looks at me strangely when he thinks me otherwise disposed.
arcane power.
All right, so anyway, so we know the base classes. First three announced were, of course, Barbarian, Sorcerer, and Druid. So that led to speculation of what the other three were going to be. So this is where it gets interesting, because there were actually, like, I think 3 main predictions for what the others were going to be. And we also knew that there was going to be 5 classes at launch. Get them before they transform.
I don't have enough arcane power.
So anyway, you basically got to see this. Ooh.
I'll be telling stories about that for a while.
So the first one, which we know confirmed 100% not happening, is the Amazon. Which, to be fair, I understand why people were kind of predicting Amazon, but in all honesty, looking at it, there was no chance. Because the problem with Amazon you have to deal with is the fact that Amazon is very much a gender-locked class, meaning you can't have a male Amazon. And with the change to have it where you can choose your character's gender, it would be kind of hypocritical to say, oh yeah, now there's this class that can only be female. And it would sort of be a stupid double standard to say, hey, we're going to have all these other classes that were previously male only be both male and female, only to then go back and say, oh yeah, by the way, here's a female only class. And while technically they could try and do an approach of, oh, we're going to have it be where there's a male variant, keep in mind that Amazon, unlike other previously female-specific classes, aren't exactly the same.
I need healing.
Mostly because Amazon, unlike other classes, actually, I'm gonna give him taunt instead.
I don't have enough arcane power.
That might work better. But anyway, so my thing was sort of like, well, it'd be kind of hypocritical to say, oh yeah, we're going to make it where you can be either gender as any class, but we're then going to turn around and say, oh yeah, here's Amazon, a class that is based off of a historical group that is very specifically female only. Here's Comet. And Fracture. So to me, it'd sort of be in poor taste to say, oh yeah, you know, here's this class that historically is female only, as Amazons by definition are female warriors from Greek myth, and their whole culture was sort of like just basically a matriarchal society where women were the warriors and stuff. But anyway, I also kind of believe that Amazon wasn't going to come because there's actually an opportunity with Amazon to, or a Amazon-like class, to be something a bit more. As the reason we were kind of everyone was predicting Amazon was A, it was a Diablo 2 class, which, as we now know, not all the classes were based off of Diablo 2 versions.
My council begs me to reconsider. I will continue with the executions of those I find guilty of plotting against the kingdom. Perhaps they fear my
I
eye
need
will fall on
arcane
them
power.
and discover their heinous, treasonous plans as well. Lazarus is the only one I can still trust.
So anyway, and actually, as a fun detail, currently there's actually a class from each game in Diablo 4 returning. And of the first, yeah. So we get Druid from Diablo 2, Sorcerer from Diablo 1, Rogue from Diablo 1, as well as Barbarian from Diablo 2 and 3. And Sorceress also was in Diablo 2, but the class itself is technically Sorcerer, but it's both. So anyway, my main prediction for Amazon would be that if they used it as like a second class instead of being, oh, we're going to bring it at launch, it's going to be the same as it was before, i.e. the sort of ranged marksman with the spear stuff added on, and instead, as a sort of extra auxiliary class, it could be something a bit more, where we get to see a class purely dedicated to the spear stuff.
I rid myself of the dark influence seeking to subdue me, and now I see things as they truly are. This conspiracy among the insolent townsfolk to weaken me by stealing Albrecht away will not stand. Perhaps the heads of their women and children on pikes will bring them clarity.
The mighty adversary is before us.
Oh, crap.
Need more arcane power.
So anyway, it's sort of be like, you know, oh, let's save this class for later so it can make it what it kind of wants to be.
I don't have enough arcane power.
I hate arcane enchanted. Ugh. Good riddance. But anyway, for me, it'd sort of be like, okay, let's let this class be a sort of melee and ranged mix, but focus purely on using a spear, maybe pole arms as well, along with a shield.
Leah, she's done so much for us.
Let's see. Have a good one? These? Or how many rubies do I have? Yeah. Extra XP, extra damage. I'm actually going to remove that in favor of life per hit. I think that'll be better. Yeah, so regardless, as I was saying, you know, focus Amazon on the spear stuff rather than have the ranged weapon stuff kind of tacked on, if anything. Oh. I think the defensive buff might actually be better in this case. Get some survivability on the character. I might see... Nah, I can't really be upgraded. I could upgrade this. It's actually got a high damage bonus rating. Yeah, I'm happy with these items. So, up next we have another prediction that is kind of daft, but it's actually the prediction that... So there is also the Paladin prediction, which I see a lot of, though I would say that it's actually a decent prediction that Paladin could come back, though. I'll explain why later, but I personally don't have it as high on my list of returning classes. But, and also as a side note, I might as well talk about it here. My prediction was actually that Demon Hunter could be the 4th class instead of Rogue, which I honestly didn't see Rogue coming, but it is interesting to see the Rogue, especially since it's actually a mix of melee and ranged. So it's not purely ranged or purely the melee dual wielder. It's actually both, which is quite interesting and useful. As it's sort of mixing and matching two distinct playstyles that kind of fit well together, I guess. Or at least in classic RPG games that are tabletop. And a lot of other games in RPGs actually mix the two together. For example, Dragon Age Rogues obviously use both ranged and dual wielding. Ooh, that melts him. So, regardless,
Need more arcane power.
that is the way forward, so we're not going that way. Oh, come on! That's stupid. Oh my gosh. So, for those who aren't entirely sure what just happened, I may or may not have gotten a two-handed legendary weapon and a offhand item. So yeah, that's interesting. So anyway, I actually predicted that Demon Hunter would be the ranged marksman instead of rogue. And my prediction was that with the sort of idea that we're going back to the darker themes of Diablo 2, I think Demon Hunter would actually serve that theme, if anything, way better than any other class could. Especially Amazon, because, I mean, Amazon doesn't really lend itself to as much dark storytelling as the Demon Hunter does, because
Favored once. I salute you, sir. I am simply following my destiny. I know the feeling. I need to go back.
and it's sort of like, you know, your family was killed by demons and you're out for vengeance. So it could really lend itself to a lot of much more mature and just awe-inspiring. Well then, this is interesting. I'd have to change this over to Arcane Torrent. Oh, I can't get Static Discharge yet. Oh, come on. I'm gonna go with Arcane Torrent, I guess. Oh, wait, I just remembered something. And then do I have the burning one? No. No, I don't. But I'll go with force weapon. And oh, it's not a fire one, but I could go with a spark flint or let's see what occurs. Yeah. Yeah. I'll take it, but I'm gonna need some changes. First off, back to chain lightning. Back to conduit. And then back over to lightning storm and meteor. Plus power of the storm. I'm actually gonna go force weapon. Still a obliterates enemy forces. Yeah, when there's 2 enemies, it really melts.
I am returning to town.
Okay, let's head back to town so we can go actually make this even better. So we're gonna enchant this, replacing that garbage with intelligence.
Still waiting.
And then we're gonna flawless ruby, amethyst. I think life per hit's gonna be better. Okay, here we go.
I have some new items that
I'm certain I don't need them. Because my weapon right now is a monster. Throw that in there. That'll be useful later. So regardless, I'm still kind of sad that my Demon Hunter isn't gonna come to Diablo 4, but oh well. At least I'll be able to play Rogue and Druid. And Sorcerer, actually. I've got 3 classes I like, so... Well, Rogue may not be as cool as Demon Hunter ever was, or ever will be, but... good enough. It's still a ranged marksman, so I'll love it all the same. But anyway... that then kind of leads us into the sort of main prediction for what the 5th class is now, which, sad to say, not coming, and that is Necromancer. So, I have to say that from the first stuff we saw of Diablo 4, I sort of knew that ever since we got the first 3 classes, I kind of knew Necromancer isn't coming.
Not ready yet.
And the reason I say that is because, first off, I want to talk a little bit about the sort of 4 class types in the game. Or the 3 class types. Now, what I mean by the class types is that there's basically sort of like your mages, your warriors, and your rogues. And those are your sort of 3 types of class that exist.
I need more bodies. You think my summoners can just conjure up a demon whenever it pleases them? We must have blood. Fresh blood, mind you. And human flesh to bolster our magic. I will be expecting a reply from you shortly.
So, anyway. Just gonna change this over to... I don't need cooldown. Ugh. Can you at least give me resource cost reduction? Stop! I just... Ugh. Gotta love when it just refuses to give you something good. Anyway. So, and as for why people are predicting Necromancer, it's just a beloved class that people just like. But there's actually a bunch of stuff that just, for me at least, kills the chances of Necromancer being one of the base 5. Perhaps the biggest and most obvious thing is that we already have a summoner in the base roster. And before you say, oh, well, Druid and Necromancer are two different types of summoner. They aren't the same. They're still summoners. And it's sort of like, well, yeah, they're technically different mechanically, but the fact remains they're still pet classes. And 2 pet classes at launch is kind of silly. And they sort of would compete for space, as it's like, well, you know, if you want to play a pet class, you've got 2 choices rather than just 1. Meaning that, while that may sound like a good thing if you enjoy pet classes, it also means there's not as much variety in terms of what you're able to do for people who don't like pet classes. As an example, I'm not really as big into the pet class stuff. It's not my first go-to thing.
All the abominable stalling. In case it was not clear, I need the sacrifices now. I've heard enough of your idle complaints that the villagers have fled from the highlands, leaving no one left to sacrifice. You'd best come up with something, or it's your hide we'll be flaying.
Yeah. So, pretty much have it. And it's also worth noting that we already have 2 mage-type classes in both the Sorcerer and the Druid. So, to have another caster class, even if, to be honest, Druids are kind of a mix when it comes to being casters, the fact remains they're still more of a mage than they are a warrior or rogue. And if anything, are mages first and other stuff second. And, well, yeah, you can kind of be a rogue or kind of be a warrior. The fact remains that your core identity is kind of as a spellcaster. Thus, you run into the issue of having multiple spellcasters instead of 3 spellcasters, along with 1 warrior, the Barbarian, and 1 rogue, the Rogue. Thus, I just don't see them adding it for those reasons, along with several other reasons, including why I think one of the 3 classes I'm going to predict is my confident predictions of what the 5th class is what they are, is what it is. But it's sort of be like, okay, well, Necromancer is another summoner and mage, and it would sort of overload the number of spellcasters in the base roster, as with every other game we've only had no more than 2 of a particular archetype at launch. For example, Diablo 2 had both the Sorceress and the Necromancer at launch, and which are both mage types. They also had the Paladin Barbarian, which are warrior types, while the Amazon was a rogue archetype. Mostly because Amazon does play the role of ranged marksman in Diablo 2, so that's why I consider it a rogue. Meanwhile, the roster of Diablo 3 started with only the Barbarian as a warrior, while Monk and Demon Hunter were rogues, being dexterity-based, while the Witch Doctor and Wizard, which I'm playing currently, were both mages using intelligence. And Barbarians obviously use strength as warriors. Meanwhile, with the expansion,
I am free.
we get to see a new warrior type added in Reaper of Souls with the Crusader. And then we get Necromancer to return, which is another point of I don't see Necromancer coming back because they literally just added it to Diablo 3. And as much as people love the class, I just don't see them having as strong of a reason to bring Necromancer back again so soon.
Thank the gods.
And it's sort of like, you know, let's give a chance for other classes to have the spotlight. And as much as people love Necromancer, there is such thing as too much of a good thing. And adding Necromancer again would kind of fall into that category of, oh, here's this class again, hogging all the spotlight as no one else gets a chance to be in the game. And it doesn't really matter if it's a beloved class or not, so it doesn't change the fact that it's hogging the spotlight.
I am free.
And rather than have a variety of classes, we instead have the same class again and again. And while, yeah, the Barbarian is kinda falling into the same category, it's not quite the same because there's not really another class like Barbarian. Barbarian is the big physical warrior. Screw magic. The only magic they use is magic weapons. That's it. Only type of magic they believe in using. As a result, Barbarians kind of exist as a unique class that isn't really like any other class out there in the game's roster, existing as a purely physical class with no mystical abilities whatsoever.
Our opponents may be strong, but I will not stand down. I need arcane power.
I think the explosions got all the eels. So much for their little eel minions.
Thank the gods.
This is possibly the... Wow.
The gods have seen fit to release.
Thank you, champion. My servants are now free.
That was surprisingly quick. It's just a stat stick. The legendary, at
But the curse over
least.
this place remains. Seek the warden at the dungeon center and end his evil forever.
So we also have a bit more to talk about with regards to the Necromancer, and for me it's sort of like, okay, well, Necromancer is sort of a dark class, as I'll call it, meaning it uses a sort of mixture of physical, cold, poison damage, and other types of damage that mostly fall into sort of darker types of magic.
Am I alone here? Must I do this myself? So be it. Face me, and repent your crimes.
Ah, Destiny 2 update. I haven't really played that much recently.
Arcane power.
So we also have to talk about the sort of missing link. So each class also kind of has a role in the party, which is distinct for each class. So Barbarians are the two-handed / dual-wielding physical damage dealers. Sort of the master of weapons. They may not be good with magic, but they are excellent and absolutely incredible at causing devastation with physical damage.
See me now.
Ah, dang it. Didn't add them to the massacre bonus. Ah! I hit them.
Your grave awaits. Need more time.
Oh. Come on. What? Huh. Apparently I can't teleport through the walls. It normally works. Oh well, I'll just have to go the long way. Ooh. Yeah. All right, so anyway, and it's worth noting that the game currently also has the rogue, which is both the dual wielder and ranged marksman, which is nice. Ooh, Templar relic. Oh. There you go, buddy. Doesn't have any strength, but nah. Ought to get you better defensively. Ah, they're too slow. Frost Hydra. Not interested. Ooh, Archon. It's not a bad one. I'm actually curious. Do I have the... Yeah, I do. Hmm.
My lord, the prisoner is ready, as you requested.
Yeah, so anyway...
Thank you, Lazarus.
We sort of end up with a situation of, okay, we've got the dual wielder, we've got the marksman,
My own wife and queen,
which was sort of the main prediction for the fourth class was marksman,
I swear.
because none of the other classes could use ranged weapons, so it'd be kind of sad to have a weapon type that's practically useless. And then we also have to consider the fact that we have the elemental spellcaster, we have the primal spellcaster, who is one of two summoning spellcasters. The Necromancer is the sort of dark summoner class. And while the Necromancer also brings in the curse and corpse stuff, Druids, of course, bring in the... actually have the shape-shifting, the werewolf and werebear stuff. Which is interesting, of course, and fun. Oh. Huh. Not really the best class to get this on, but oh well. That's just a lot better. Yeah.
A fine choice.
So then we also...
You think to take my treasure? You shall not leave this room.
I won't be dying today. I must wait longer.
Oh, come on. There we go.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
I just love Electrocute with Mycon's Ball of Hate. Oh, it's so fun. Never gets old, too. Ah.
Excellent.
Rip them apart with lightning. Get them as well. Now let's see. Oh no. Yeah, we got some transforming. You don't always get the second teleport, sadly. It's always a shame. Slam down the meteors. There we go. Yeah, we'll wait a little bit. So regardless, so we've already got one summoner. We already got our elemental caster. We've got our big physical damage dealer.
Only this dark place has been destroyed along with its ruler.
But then we also have one more archetype missing. Or rather, two specific archetypes that have always coincided with each other. And that is the Holy Caster and the Support / Shield Bearing class. So, it's like, okay, well, Barbarians can technically use shields as well, effectively, but no one else really is able to. So that sort of leaves you with a situation of, there's this one class that can use shields, and even then, it's kind of been made clear they aren't intended to be shield bearers in tanks. They're kind of intended to be physical damage dealers in Diablo 4. So, we then have to consider, okay, well, and while Diablo 3 did have Barbarians and not Crusader at launch, it is worth noting that Barbarian wasn't the same. It was much less of a physical damage dealing class and more of a sort of just physical warrior in general. Not necessarily the same master of weapons that we see in Diablo 4, with the different weapon system that they use.
I don't like the look of that.
As a result, my prediction is going to be that
Need more arcane power.
the next class, it is for certain a holy class, as every game has had a holy class at launch. Thus, we shouldn't expect anything different from this game. Oh. Oh yeah, that has a lot bigger bonus. Oh, dang it. I pressed the wrong button. Oh, come on. Don't always get it right. So, anyway, that leads me to think that Paladin, Crusader, or potentially Templar could be the third or fifth class of Diablo 4. Because we don't have anyone who uses holy magic, and it'd be sort of unfair to have a lightning class, cold class, fire class, shadow class, but then not have a holy class. Oh. How appropriate. So anyway, I did actually have a discussion with someone where he mentioned, well, what if there was a Death Knight? And I just said, well, look, we're not getting a Death Knight either because, quite frankly, there's not a holy class, so the fifth class kinda needs to be someone who can use holy magic as well as a shield, and someone who can do healing and stuff like that, as none of the four classes we've seen so far really have a strong healing ability. And we've had a class that can heal decently well at launch of every game, so it stands to reason that this game would be no different. Let's see if we can up the power of this bad boy. Resource cost reduction is nice. Ooh. And then star is 3, yeah. Oh, I actually have 2. Or no, I want this. I might switch back over to conduit.
I have some new items that I'm certain.
I'll make this look like something else. Or, nah. I'll leave it, I guess. So, anyway. Dismantle all of them. Because they're nothing but stat sticks or weapons I've already found. Oh, it's Michael. I'll pause this in a moment. Alright, I'm back. Michael's trying to call me. Weird stuff happened. Don't ask. I have no idea what was going on. So, anyway, let's see. All right. Let's go over here. Let's do this. Wait. Oh, wait. It's a minor issue. It's Wednesday. Just texting him right now. Okay.
I eat your flesh.
Oh, what? All right.
More meat.
Me and the professor are talking about stuff right now. So, sorry for the pausing, but it's simple enough. All right.
Run, coward.
So anyway, let's finish this guy off and finish this act, because why not? Oh, come on.
I eat your flesh.
Come on, buddy.
More meat.
Charge at me so I can batter you with meteors. Hey, a belt. All right. Ooh. That's a good one, actually. Oh, I like it. Faster attacking on my lightning spells. Heck yeah. My main ability? Heck yeah. Oh no. Oh no, it's amazing. I almost feel bad for them. Aw. You don't always get the second teleport, sadly. So anyway, sorry about the sort of scatterbrained nature of this. It's had some issues. But anyway, main point is, for the 5th class of Diablo 4, I just don't see it being Necromancer.
Take yours.
Hey, it's Tyrael.
I remember. You have restored my beloved. We must move.
There we go. Might as well repair all. Let me quickly go over here to the Mystic and change the magic missile damage bonus to hopefully electrocute. Oh, of course it doesn't give me electrocute immediately. Yes! Haha. It's not great, but nah. They're not the best bonus I can get, but oh well. So anyway, I hope to do more Diablo videos in the future. And next week I will return to God of War, and we'll go get the chisel. Might as well just.
Time grows short. Yes, I have called.
I'll actually do the outro in the next act.
My friend, shall we depart to Chaldeum?
Act 2. I'll let this play. These are cool cutscenes.
Now that Tristram is safe, I travel to Chaldeum, the great city of the East. It has fallen before one of the last lords of hell, Belial. I mean to set the city free.
Here we are.
We need to...
Alright, so without further ado, I think that does it pretty well for Diablo 3 today. Of course, I'll come back with God of War next week. Don't know when I'll come back to Diablo 2 or 3, not 2. So I might do more Diablo 4 discussions in the future. I don't know. Maybe they'll be less scatterbrained than this one. But anyway, see y'all next time. Halo Zoo out.